Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
You just know that what are the relevant things we are providing to you. So that's the drag and drop you should know. That's it.
Okay.
Right. So that's the about Jenkins. So we set up the things. We have set up the ports also. Now the question may become that if any issue with the Jenkins, then how you're going to see the logs,
Right.
right? So for this, one more command will be there. Okay. These are the small things, but I suggest that create the one tips and tricks folder or something, right? And we have to copy paste all that part because it should be handy, right? Like a cheat sheet we have. So this is the third command which I pinged you. Okay. So in case by default it is set up on the Jenkins folder where it's going to set the logs, but in case you want to put it any specific different logs, right? Then you can hardcode the logs also here. For the local user machine may not work for these things, but you are going to work as an ops, right? So you have to put the logs in some place. And sometimes developer not aware about these tips and tricks, and they are expecting from you. You should know about that part because this is your daily job from their understanding, right? So this is another command which I pinged you in case you want to map the log files.
Okay, let me just
right?
do it. Try it here.
Yeah. So cancel it and then try it. And I suggest that generally the way I do this thing is I create a one folder or the one notepad or something where I put all this tricky commands.
Okay.
It will be handy. Okay. This is not a way the folder structure you have, right? So I have the C software logs. It maybe you may have something different. Whatever
Okay.
the folder structure you
C
have.
software logs. Okay. C software logs. I can make one if it's not there.
Or you can change it as per your way, whatever folder you want to do it. So
that's fine. Put it. Software log. Okay.
you have to make as a caps.
Oh, okay.
These are small things, but it's going to take the time while you do the troubleshooting. Okay, now create a log with all the small caps and then Jenkins log. That's it.
Is it log? Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And why I'm insisting on this command is because this is the basically entry point for you. Because as a the first of it's anything going to come, what the things basically you're going to do it, you're always going to see the log file. Am I right? So you
Yeah.
should know where the log file is there. If the log file is there, you don't have any clue what happened.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So keep handy with these commands. Right.
So is it like okay?
Right now you can open the Jenkins.log. See, it's created by own, right? Whatever things you have created, discarded because your one is a Jenkins.txt, not logs.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And yes. So now you are clear that how to change the pods and how to put the log files also.
Okay. Yeah. I'll delete this other file and then which I created.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the things. Now you have to jump to the console. So now you are good with the installation.
Okay.
Now you are good with the installation. So this is the basically playground for you.
Okay.
This is your playground for you, and this is the admin, right? Now you have to understand that part from security point of view. Don't give the access to each and everyone in case you are admin.
Okay.
Yeah. If you are going to give this thing a CM, it's contain the jobs which is going to define the complete CI/CD. Developers sometimes they don't know about the more about the DevOps, and they can do the POC and goof up the things, and you have to pay the price, right, to fix this, to troubleshoot what some changes these guys have done and all that part.
Right.
Okay. Another important thing is here which you have to take care, which generally developer miss, right, or the new guys miss this thing is here. Whatever jobs you're going to create, check it in a code repository. If something is going to mess up, you know from where you have to pick up the latest copy and whatever the changes done.
Right.
Right. So these are the like small things which you have to take care, but it's going to simply going to remove a lot of work from your plate and a lot of pain from your plate, right? So make it as a practice, right? So let's do the quick walkthrough on that part. So you can see the left hand side, the UI part, that we have a new items, people, build history, manage Jenkins, my views, lockable resources, right? And
Yeah.
here, generally, we play with the job, right? What's the job? The Jenkins and everything. It's the infra, right? It's the infra. At the ground level, your job is going to be executed. So whatever the ecosystem, Jenkins as an ecosystem provided to you, but finally your job is going to trigger and a complete ecosystem is provided to you to manage the complete system, right? But whatever the logic now you have to provide it, that's you have to put it in a job. So getting my point. So this is your main bread and butter, right? Where you know that how to write the scripts.
Right.
Okay, so that's the thing. So if you ask me at the very high level, so three things we should know: that how to play with this playground, or this is the console, or what's the meaning of the buttons, what we can do these things, how to write the jobs, and while doing the jobs, these things we have to use the plugins also. So how to set up the plugins or the agents also. Make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
So I hope you are able to follow us, right?
Yes, because I am. Yeah.
Right now you are good that the part of these things, and yeah, so let's do the quick the slide part also, right? So generally the approach generally we go on that part is clear, that basically we walk you through the content about the hands-on or the whiteboard and the basic concepts, and after that
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
we basically after that we walk you through by the slides also. So
Okay.
you can understand a few of more things. More theory may be there, but sometimes, if you to get the brownie points with the management or with the techie guys, you know something here and there also.
Okay.
Right? That's the thing. Yeah. So, Heman, do you want to walk you through the slides?
Sure. I'm sharing the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not have the access of Mantush.
So, Mantush, can you provide access to the Heman, please? Mantush, can you hear us?
Oh, this should be my screen.
Can you do the stop sharing?
Yeah, I can make presenter. Who Hemant? I can do it.
Hemant, yes, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So hope you are able to see the screen now.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, we are able to see it.
So basically, it's an open source tool. Most important, you need not pay anything unless you go for some support.
Okay.
So this tool is available free of charge unless you are using taking the support, etc., which LTS version has, and the other version which you have installed does not have.
Okay.
It's okay to understand a brief background. So whenever you're talking to somebody in the management, if you give the confidence that you understand what's the background, who started this tool, why they started this tool. So this started as a Hudson project, and Hudson started creating in 2004 at Sun Microsystems. Sun Microsystems is the same organization which created Java.
Okay.
So later, but these days, Java is taken over by Oracle.
Right. Yeah.
But originally it was Sun Microsystems. Sun Microsystems created Java, and Microsoft created .NET. So they were in a very stiff competition with each other. We are back in 2004.
Okay.
Roughly in 2010, and an issue arose. There was some dispute in the community. This was because this is an open source project. The community was created. Anybody can join in. There was some dispute, and to resolve that dispute, ultimately a proposal was made to change the project name from Hudson to Jenkins.
Okay.
And Oracle basically took over, and they said they intended to continue development of Hudson and considered Jenkins as a fork rather than a rename. So if you are working in Git, you must be aware of how fork and so what is fork? You have an idea?
Yeah. Yeah.
In Git, the fork means you branch out.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Yep.
And that's become the base for the future development. So there is a repository X. So you fork it, you create your own repository, you name it Y, but the base code would be taken from X.
Okay. Okay.
And so now this is called as Jenkins, and they have around 647 community members who are managing or running this product. And there are public repositories on top of this who are using using Jenkins as the base. So Hudson is not maintained anymore, and Jenkins is the only replacement. And Jenkins build, test our software continuously, and monitor the execution status of remote job, make it easier for team members. In fact, that's the definition of a Jenkins tool, which Vikas has already explained you. So it is being used for build and testing of your software for continuously monitoring of execution and status of remote jobs, making it easier for your development team members and users to regularly update the latest stable code. So many organizations, I've mentioned only few. In fact, many organizations moved from other TFS, and many tools are there. TeamCity is there, Bamboo is there. So many tools are in the market, but the major portion has been captured by Jenkins just because its architecture is very flexible. Why? You may not have a very good idea immediately. We'll come back to this slide sometime in future as well. But
can I add
feedback from?
Can I add something at here? On this slide, yeah. So basically, Raju, the basic idea, right? Whatever the sites we are going to do this thing, right? And goal to releasing, giving the stable version, okay, to the developers, right? So basically, one developer pick up the one story, complete the task. When another developer is going to pick up the another story, whatever the version he is going to get it in a Git, right? That should be stable, right? And as I mentioned, right, this thing that if I have 10 teams, approximately 70 or 90 developers are there, right, then they are going to go for these things, right, without my knowledge. So basically, if they are going to go for these things, that's basically the broken builds, right? And what the things are this thing is there, right? If you want to bring the discipline, right, stop to the build. If you are saying that, oh, now build is not available, you will not realize within a 5 minutes you can see the panic on the floor, right? And that's the idea, to giving the immediate feedback to the developer. Buddy, maybe your code is written, but maybe there's some issue with your code. It may be code quality issues. It may be whatever unit test cases you have written, which is not covering the 80% piece of code, whatever the benchmark you have set up this thing. Or it may be, there's some broken build. This broken build is not understand that build is not working. Build is working. But actually, this is not an ideal build, which may contain the code quality issues, which may contain the redundant code, which may contain some security vulnerabilities. Broken build doesn't mean this thing that the code is not working. Code is working, but if you're looking from the NFRs and other stuff and the code quality and the code coverage perspective, something is broken.
Right.
So that's the idea that we are giving the immediate feedback to developer, because once the code is going to be checked in, that what the Jenkins job is going to do, it's going to check out your code, right? And going to scan your code. Oh, total, how many methods you have written as a developer? Okay, Rajiv worked on whatever stories, he have written 10 methods. Out of 10 methods, he have written the unit test cases for 6 methods only. So what the percentage of code you have covered? 60%. What the benchmark expected? 80%. So you have not meet the 80%, the build is going to fail. You are going to get a notification that, buddy, the current code coverage is 60%, expected is 80%. Please write the test cases for few more methods. So that type of feedback we are talking about that part. Okay. Now, so that's the thing basically. Okay, it may be now you return the test cases for 2 more methods. So you're able to achieve the 80% code coverage. Now, again, the fresh code is going to be checked out. Again, going to scan via the Jenkins job is going to say, oh, total 10 methods. Now, unit test cases for the 8 methods. Okay, first quality get passed. Now, let's talk about these things. That whatever the unit test case is written by the Rajiv, is it successfully passing or not? Oh, not passing, then again something is messed up and build is treated as a broken, or build is not created actually, and again you are going to get the notification that, buddy, this is.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Pieces of failing. So that broken build we are not talking. We are not saying that the build is not working. Build is working fine, right? But there is some issues there, and we are enforcing that build will not be created until unless you are going to check all the you are not going to complete all the checklist.
Okay.
So that's the mean of the broken. Now you are saying that no build from the dev machine manually copying the file. Okay, what's the mean of this thing? Okay, if you're not using the Jenkins, right? So how do things work? Developer, assuming we are doing the basically role play, Rajiv, at here, and we are treating you as, and I am an architect for your project. So Rajiv, what is going to do it? Rajiv work on the machine, right? And he given to the QA. QA reported the 2 issues. Rajiv is working till late night, 3 a.m. in office, right? And Vikas is not available at moment. So Rajiv somehow fixed, and QA is also available at 3:30. He say yes. Rajiv say, oh, it's too late and it's working on my machine. He tested, he called to the QA, but my machine is working, and you manually copy the file and check in the things. And in the morning, you are not in the office because you left very late, and I reach out to the office and I have a demo to the business. And as soon as we start a demo, nothing is working. Why these things maybe happen? It maybe you miss to the few files, right? It's happened. It's happened. You are developers under pressure, working till late nights. It's everything works, but by mistake they miss to copy all the files or check in all the files. Right? It's happened. So we are avoiding that issue itself. We are saying the main thought process about a Jenkins believes, don't take the files from the developer machine. Take the file from the Git. Okay, so that's the thought process at here, and that's the reason we are insisting to the QA also, don't take the build from any developer machine, always take from the Git. Okay, so that's going to enforce that, these are the small things, but sometimes, I mean, think about, project manager and architect, everybody is very much excited, and a project demo, you have a 50, developers are, this thing is there, and they are working day and night, and one person missed to, copy the one file, and everybody is ashamed, right? That, whatever efforts put by the people, it's going to on a win, right? So that's the main problem. And what's the automated deployment? Okay, why the automation comes? The thought process about the machine. If it is going to work fine for the one task, it is always going to work fine for the 100 times for the same task, right? And that's the problem with the human being, right? Can do the error. Even we are doing the same task 100 times correctly, but 101 time we may do the mistake for the same task. which is not
Right.
the machine. So that's the
Mhm.
thought process there, that we cannot afford the goof up in a especially deployment. So better automate the deployment. So that's the thought process. Okay.
Okay.
Now, when we're going to talk about the automation, test execution, and a feedback, the basically idea that part that they want you to save the cost and money. How?
Mhm.
Generally, what happens as a developer, you are doing the coding, right? You are creating a build, then it's going to the QA. When it's going to QA till that time, you are ideal. When QA is going to
Mhm.
test things, then they are sending to you. Then you are
Right.
going to
Mhm.
fix that. And basically, what's the difference between QA and dev, right? For
Mhm.
developer, our code is our baby,
Mhm.
right? And then
Right.
we
Yeah.
safeguard our baby, right? That's the nature of the parent, right? And what's
Right.
the
Yeah.
QA? He's a basically killer. He want to kill your baby, right? So
Mhm.
basically, what the thing I want to communicate, you may have observed that once a developer is doing the coding, right? So as a developer, you are going to check, oh, is it function is working fine or not, right?
Mhm.
Every person you are going to do it. But as soon as you are going to give the code to the QA, you may have observed not, and keep observing the QA also, right? They are not
Mhm.
going to check the happy path because they know you are a developer, you already checked the happy path, and that's the reason you are coming with the confidence shining in your eyes. Okay, buddy, I have done it finally. So they are first going to check the path where the code is going to be played, right?
Okay.
So that's the
Mhm.
thought process. So what they want is things that the developer once going to write the code, first they have to think from as a QA point of view. Oh, this is the scenario, this is the business case, what's the boundary condition? And
Mhm.
first test this boundary condition via the automation testing.
Okay.
Developer
Mhm.
has to write the unit test cases. So that's the thought process. And why QA has to test it again and again and again, right? So
Mhm.
to do that part, they want automation test execution, and that's the thought process. And for these things, we need the Jenkins. So that's
Mhm.
the thought process and background about these four things.
Okay. Okay.
Make sense?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Good? Okay, Hemant, you can continue, please.
Why use Jenkins? Because
Mhm.
the operations team is using the usage has increased so much,
Mhm.
uh, and then this has an impact on the budget to control the budget, etc. Jenkins is being used so extensively. What is continuous integration? This has been discussed.
Right.
There is a continuous integration server, which is Jenkins in our case. So Jenkins feedback the source code as well as it build the code, it test the code, and it deploy the code.
Okay. Mhm.
That's what or how the continuous integration works generally. Any
Mhm.
tool, be it Jenkins or TeamCity or Bamboo or Azure DevOps, so many tools are there in the market.
Mhm.
This is the basic concept. However, Jenkins is one of the popular tool because Jenkins architecture is quite flexible.
Okay.
The flexibility is not there in other tools. So
Mhm.
organizations still prefer Jenkins to be used. And secondly, it's open source. You need not
Okay.
pay anything. Any number
Okay.
of users can use Jenkins, whereas if you're using Azure DevOps, you need to purchase, I think initial 5 users are free, but
Okay.
then rest of the users need to purchase a license.
Okay.
Uh, before pandemic last year, Microsoft offering two mode or two category of licenses, $3 and $6. $3 license was for a month.
Okay.
They had some limited capability, and $6 had the full capabilities now. And Microsoft understands trying to earn
Mhm.
money as well, so they stopped.
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Giving $3 license, and they are
Okay.
offering only $6 license
Yeah. So it's what is it like $6 license for what? Like it's for
for a
5 users?
for creating the pipelines,
Uh,
everything which being done by Jenkins, same
Oh.
capability, or basically you will be able to create the jobs, you will be able to create do the continuous integration, continuous
Mhm.
deployment, but
Okay.
it's Azure DevOps.
Okay. Okay.
Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just saw something like they make some kind of YAML files and other stuff and move around things. I don't know. I've just seen it. Okay, so it's like basically $6 for pipe developers. Okay, for creating
Not
that.
for 5 developer. Initial 5 developer are free.
Oh, okay.
A sixth user will be charged $6. So
Okay. Okay.
any developer you add after 5, the license cost is $6 per user.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
After initial 5 users are free.
Okay.
So each tool has a different charging model. And this is one of the difference. Jenkins is totally free. It's open source.
Okay.
Vikas mentioned about JDK 8 and 11. So that stand true. You'll not be able to use any other JDK version, and this is applicable for setup. Again, we are reiterating, this is applicable for setup, not for the build. For build, if you're trying to build your code, any JDK version can be used, but for the deployment, you must have only JDK 8 or 11.
Okay.
Minimum memory requirement is 2 GB, which is very basic, but this is the minimum requirement. And you never create your system or run your system for minimum requirement. So more the memory, more the performance. So better to have anything higher, 16 GB, 32 GB is better to have, because if you have a heavy server, it will definitely able to take a load of more jobs.
Okay. Okay.
No minimum requirement. Sorry.
Yeah, one more thing I want to add these things, Rajesh. So if we are going to use a Docker, right, we need a 10 GB more.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you're going to for a Docker, right, so Docker need some more memory. So for Docker, we need some separate on the top of above, right? So
okay. Okay.
yeah, please
And
continue.
while downloading your Jenkins, in fact, you noticed that it supports multiple operating systems: Windows, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Fedora, CentOS OS. CentOS OS is getting common these days because CentOS OS is again an open source operating system. So the organizations which are adopting Linux platform, they generally go for CentOS OS.
Okay. Okay, like in my case, I mean, they are using, I mean, it's a Red Hat, I believe, 7, yeah, RHEL 7 servers, they are getting installed, all those, like, the Jenkins, okay.
Yes.
Yes,
So Red Hat 7 is again okay, but again Red Hat charge you. So those servers, those of Linux operating system are not free. They charge. They give you the support as well, but they charge something.
Right. Yep.
Based on the multiple trainings we have done in last 3-4 years for multiple organizations, Lloyds Bank, we done trainings, BNSF, GE, Walmart. Mostly what we have seen is that they have moved towards CentOS OS.
Oh, okay. So CentOS OS, they have like a support as well, because I mean, it's a kind of community thing, right? CentOS.
It is a community thing, but it's quite stable, and again, there is no license cost. Something similar to Jenkins. Jenkins is open source community, but it's so stable that organizations still feel very comfortable using these products.
Oh, okay. I believe here they opt for it because of their support. If something happens, there is someone to look, might be, that's why. Otherwise,
The
I
cost
believe
is very high.
Oh, yeah, right.
Red Hat charge very high cost, but that's fine. That's up to the organization what they prefer. But it's
Oh,
possible.
you were saying, okay. You're saying Red Hat cost is very high, right? Okay.
Yes, Red Hat cost is high.
Okay.
Anyway, operating system, all of these operating systems are supported. OpenSUSE is again Linux based. Then the Mac is also supported. So these are different operating systems so that you can use for installing your Jenkins. In fact, most of this has already been done. So if you are going for a production version, LTS should be used.
Okay.
But if you are not for your demo or not for demo, in fact for your learning, etc., it's better or it's okay to pick up the latest version, which we did today, 297 you picked up.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay.
And two formats you looked at. One format was installing the MSI, and second way was to run the var file.
Right.
Either is okay.
Mhm.
Either is okay.
Mhm.
MSI you stuck up at some with some issue
error.
that
Yeah.
access.
Yep. Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
otherwise the installation process is more or less same, except that in var file you need to remember some command, whereas in MSI it's already installed, and whenever you start your server and go to your browser, in the browser localhost, the Jenkins will already be there, started already. You need not start or stop it yourself in
Okay.
MSI. But in var file, command window you need to open a command window, run the command, Control-C to stop the Jenkins.
Okay.
Port, which you also tried, different port you can use. It's also common to use port 8090, most of the organization. So definitely 8080 is quite common for
Right.
other products as well. So generally we have seen Jenkins organization use 8090 and 8091.
Okay.
These ports are generally used for Jenkins.
Okay.
Because Rajiv, the point is like a Tomcat and this, they play with the
Right.
8081, 8082. So
Correct.
who
Correct.
is
Yeah.
the different 90 range or something?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And then, in fact, this has also been done. How to configure with it, how the Git plugin would be used. We have not seen.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.